I think everyone in Gen Z has realized that companies don't really care about you. So there's not this sort of like relationship between you and the company. Move on to the best opportunity.
Welcome to Stayconomics, the podcast for people who are done pretending turnover is just a part of the business. We're talking the real economics of keeping great humans. Each episode, we will unpack the psychology, the money, and the messy reality behind why people stay or leave before you even know their last name. Expect bold opinions, practical takeaways, and a lot of finally someone said it. So grab a coffee, cancel that pointless meeting, and join us in reinventing how staying actually works. Follow SideUp for more.
Hi, I'm Emma. I'm COO and co-founder of SideUp. And today I'm really happy to have Vic and Rachid. And we are here to talk a little bit about a very, very important subject that is Gen Z life and opinions. Really want to be quite open. I'm here just to listen. And the idea is really to understand you guys because you know that SideUp has a mission of build better relationships between employer and employees. And to a good relationship, we need to listen and to understand what has happened. And then we can build something meaningful. I don't believe that something can be done in any other way. And Gen Z suffers a lot with a lot of opinions. And I don't think people give you opportunity to talk about it. So we are really here to understand, to listen. And I'm going to introduce you guys because you are very interesting people. So we have here Victoria, that is from Siena, Italy. And she's a freshman at USC studying business. She's very interested in finance and the luxury industry. While in her free time, she loves playing volleyball, going to the gym, and traveling. She is very active on campus. She's in a consulting club focused on helping boutique fitness centers, a fashion business magazine club, and she started her own Italian club. And Rachid, currently a freshman from USC as well, in the World Bachelor in Business program. He's from Bangalore in India, known as the Silicon Valley of India, really nice. He's really interested in financial inclusion and on-campus consulting and finance clubs. In the free time between that, he loves anything outdoorsy like hiking and running. I'm very happy to have you here, guys. You have no idea. Gen Z is about to be, like, by 2030, you guys are going to be 30% of our workforce. And right now, we have a very high turnover, and Gen Z leaves the company around 1 year average. So we have been asking ourselves, what is happening? So why? And we know that this is different from generation to generation, but now it's the shorter time ever. So I want to listen to you guys. What do you think is happening?
Personally, I think Gen Z, future employer, future workers, they're really flexible. They want to try different things. So I think that's why the turnover is that high, because I feel after a while we grew up in a world where everything it's so fast and it's so changing that I think we want to change. We want to change job or just try something new because we know we have so many different opportunities around. And I think being stuck in just one company, one firm, it just feels very overwhelming for some of us, or just feels on us. So we're really trying to try out all the different opportunities that we have. So I think this is how I feel in the future, I want to try different things, but I don't know how everybody.
Yeah, 100%. First of all, thank you for having us here.
Yeah.
We're excited to be here. But to answer your question, I think everyone in Gen Z has realized that companies don't really care about you. So there's not this sort of relationship between you and the company. And it's only purely monetary relationship. And that's why I think there's such a rise in people switching jobs, because you just move on to the best opportunity. You don't really, at least in Gen Z, since you have whatever devices and so on, there's no reason to form a relationship with people, managers, or think that the company defines your identity. And I think there's been a like big shift away from that, and it's more individualistic. I'd say.
Yeah, and I also feel this kind of shift is like was brought up by like internet or like I don't know technology kind of stuff too. But I feel there's still some like relationships, but it depends. I feel it depends on the company or the firm. Kind of a race between companies.
Always the technology.
Yeah.
And guys, you know, when we are building a career, usually this is a little bit connected with the time that we stay in the company. So and when we see the data also says that just 6% of you guys want a leadership position. So I think this is a little bit also correlated maybe with the low turnover. But how do you feel about it? Like 6% only?
Okay, I was not expecting that number at all. Yeah, because like from my point of view, I would like to like grow inside the company and getting like those top management roles, like leadership roles. And I feel also here, like a US here, like Marshall, everybody's really like pushed to like also through recruiting. I know like I'm more in the finance field or like consulting field, but like everybody's kind of pushed to go like in the upper like higher like places. I wasn't expecting that 6% at all. I feel like maybe some of us are just trying to like the best opportunity, as Rachi was saying before. So just like salary wise, or just everybody just wants to work to leave later, not like to work. Just they don't want to make their job their whole life. So maybe that's why.
I would think everyone wants to climb this ladder of prestige in the job role, right? But I don't know. Like hearing that statistic, that was surprising. But maybe it'd be that you just pursue money, and then job is increasingly seen as just like a means to an end rather than the end itself. So you're just doing that to earn money to do your hobbies of like hiking or running in my case.
Yeah, I feel that's like a trend too. We can see on social media how like everybody's saying you're not just your job, you're not just like your work. So everybody, and I feel this is like more recent. Just go out, travel, since we have also more opportunity to like travel and like plane and globalization, etc.
This is interesting, Vic, because we have this huge subject now that is about who you are and not what you do. But and then at the same time, there's like people say, no. Gen Z just want the good life. They don't want to really work and stuff. And I know that you guys talked a little bit about this, but what is a good life to Gen Z? And the stuff about you guys don't want to work. What does mean? What do you think about it?
I asked a couple of friends and talked to multiple people, and it just like living in a farm in New Zealand with your wife and children, having a couple of cows and a dog here and there. I think that's what a lot of people in Gen Z, and even me personally, I think that's my end goal as well, is just to be in the farmland in the nature or something like that.
And easy, not easy because it seems like easy, not easy.
Gen Z is simple after all.
Yeah, and you.
I think that's such like a broad topic to talk about because like all of us want something different. I think like there's some people who just want like nice, relaxing life, but some other people just want like their goal to have like a good life is like actually being accomplished in their work. I feel like a good way is kind of like in the middle, but I really believe like relationships count a lot, which is not just like romantic relationship, just in like relationship with your friends, with your family, like are what matters the most. So I feel like wherever you work, wherever you live, to have a good life, I really believe in having like nice relationships or like with like other people, like having friends to spend time with, having a family to spend time with. So I cannot really imagine like my future life, but I would love like for me like a very good life would be just traveling. I'd really like traveling. So I think that's kind of many people like in Gen Z, they love traveling too. So maybe that's why they're like so flexible or like not so focused on like career money because they just want to experience everything that the world has to like offer.
Interesting. Yeah. And then you bring me to next step that is the flexibility itself. So for example, in my generation also wanted flexibility, but I think we had a different perspective of it. So for example, for me, flexibility was when my kids were small kids, the ability to work and take care of them. And at that time, to nowadays is a little bit more, I would say, possible after pandemic. But at that time, it was impossible. But this was my only concept of flexibility. What this really means for you guys, like traveling, but what else? There's something else?
Yeah, definitely. Like flexibility means just having like whatever, there's a chance, like there's an opportunity that you want to take, and I need to be flexible to go and take it. For, like speaking of like job wise, like job like workplace, flexibility means also like changing like the different positions in the same, I don't know, company. Like if I have the chance, like finance is so broad. If like a company is giving me like different like fields like in finance I can work with, I would really like to have the flexibility of like trying like some of them, or like I'm starting here like for a month, for 2 months, I don't really like it, can I change somewhere else, like in the same company? I feel that's like a flexible offering, flexible thing that I would really like to have. Like some companies, even like when you start, they give you like a rotational program. So it means like you go there, like you change different like positions for every 4 months, or like every like 5 months. And I feel that's really good. That's kind of like a flexibility I would like to have.
Yeah, 100%. In my day to day, I would say like number one is control over my hours. I don't want to work a 9 to 5. I don't want to be working for my time. I want like a set number of tasks, and when I do them, it's like done, right? And I think having that control over your life and therefore your hours is like number one priority on flexibility more than anything else. I want to be able to take a vacation when I want. I want to be able to go on weekend trips when I want. I want to be able to go to this game on Thursday night when I want. I don't want the company to tell me what I can do and what I can't. So I think that is like 100% up there.
And Rachid, when you talk about it, do you think a result-oriented job will be the job? Because why I'm saying this, because when you are working task-based, like task-oriented, maybe you have to have some, time that you have to be with the team, like because it's tasks and you need. Do you think like when you are more resulted, this is possible? Because then a company doesn't need to control your time. You see, like they're just like, okay, you're gonna deliver me this, do whatever you want in this period. Do you think will be something interesting?
Right, that's an amazing point. That okay, you might have tasks done, but then you still need to talk about those tasks with your teammates or tell your boss about those, and you need to be available for that period of 9 to 5 to do that. And yeah, that is like an unfortunate, I guess, necessity, but I don't think it's required. And especially like you can have like one specific time period blocked out for maybe meetings or so on, and to align, and then have one for just tasks and complete that. I would definitely want to live in a results driven, task driven company. I think that's broadly for the entire generation as well.
And guys, you're like entering the workplace, the market soon. And I'm gonna use myself as an example again. Like when I made it, I remember that I looked for a company that, different from you guys, could give me a perspective of future and stability. That now I know that is impossible. But at that time, I thought this would be a great thing. And anyway, like in my perspective, I got a good company that I stayed for 20 years. And a lot of what they offered to me on that time was interesting. What do you guys are looking into, like in a company? How would I hire you and have you forever?
Okay, the first thing that I feel like most of the people are attracted by is like name, like brand, like the company, and like the salary too. I feel the most like the first thing that many like future workers, like future students that are going like in the workplace are looking for is just a lot of like big like salaries, like money, and if they actually like the job. So kind of like 50-50. And then I feel like after a while, like if you are like once like you are in the company, to be in the company, I feel like I would really look at what the company offers me. Does the company care about me? What do they give me? Like, all benefits of the like from like the company stuff, but like, do they really care of like keeping me there? Do they really care about like not only my like work that I'm doing there, but also my life outside of work? Because I feel like your life outside kind of influences like your work and like your like results and like your tasks. I think that's one thing that I would look like if I'm actually staying in the company for a long time. If I want to stay in the company, I like the company that much. If I want to stay there, just does the company care about me? So yeah.
I'd actually dispute Victoria here. I don't think people in Gen Z like want to chase prestige more than the previous generations. I feel more than ever we want to be like have our work have meaning. I mean, we don't have statistics, so I could not disprove that. But personally, it's like I would just want to have impact. I want to be in fast, small teams that drive meaningful change that I can see like with my eyes, and that's number one. And then number two is because like I want to be friends with everyone at work. I want to have when you grow older, I don't think you make friends through any other means except work or going to a bar or something. And that bar culture is dying down too, and you don't really make friends there. So I want everyone to be at work to be sort of appreciative, and I can see them either through a boss handing me like a gift card to Starbucks on a random Thursday for doing a good job on X, then a team member doing the same or something similar. That would be really cool.
Okay, yeah, that second point, yeah, I totally agree with that. Like, how's the like environment, like work environment? I totally agree with that. Like, if it's a really nice work environment that I have friends there, like my colleagues or my friends, so yeah, I would like to stay. But still, at the same time, I would still like want to know what the company like gives me.
And if I gave you guys like a dream, or if I understood your dreams and I thought about making it happen, this would make you guys more loyal to a company.
If what we said it actually becomes true for that company, like would we be
You know
loyal?
what I believe in a personal view. Okay, like it's quite personal, but I really believe that there's the best way to really have people together is to think about what they want. So, of course, the company has their goals, but many times I can understand what you want for the future, and I can help you grow and maybe reach this goal somehow. Sometimes you're gonna say to me like, "But I want to work with luxury, and you work with finance, but maybe I can teach you something that is gonna be great for you in your future." Or I don't know, I can really teach you and make you leave some stuff, and even like giving you some finance, I don't know, resource to really reach the dream. So I really believe in this, like that is about the person and what the person wants from life. And then I have to understand like, okay, to have them with me, I need to understand and make them happy with me along the way. Do you guys think this would work with you guys?
I was living in Wonderland there for a moment, but that would be like a good dream. I think having your boss or someone who cares about you understand you and what you really want in life. And I would be afraid to do that, but if it actually happens, and the boss or my closest thing I've had to that is like a senior in high school or in university, is them understanding that and then giving me opportunities because they know that. That would be like amazing. That would be like number one thing that would make me love you, is just giving me opportunities that advance what my dream is or something of the sort. So that would be amazing.
Yeah, totally agree with you. Actually, one point that you like reminded me is that I would really love a company that makes me like grow. That like for maybe
Okay.
like one of the things that I would definitely look for like in a company is actually like, are you gonna like learn, like am I gonna learn something? Like I want to learn something each day. I want to become like a better person, but like literally also in the workplace I want to grow more. And if the company gives me that, yeah, as Rashi was saying, it would be like a dream. Like it would be so good.
I like to hear that, guys. And tell me one more thing. Like one of the biggest worries, concerns, right? Yeah, that we have when we are going to the market and we are growing up is the financial stress, like all the bills that comes with this. How do you guys feel about it? I think that you, Gen Z, and you talked a little bit about this. You were not just about work. My generation was a little bit more like, okay, I need to, it's okay, I'm gonna pay my bills. In my perspective, for example, I could see like, okay, now I need to pay my bills till this period, and there's no family and friends and things for a while because this is what I have to do, and no money is gonna. Yeah, I won't have the money now to do it, so I'm gonna just be quiet and learning and this kind of stuff. how this is for you guys in a financial stress and balance with wages and everything.
I feel it really depends on like your background too, because I have friends who comes from like different backgrounds and different like
Rich.
countries and and different like economic background too. So I feel that really like kind of influences like your point of view. But as you were saying, I think as Gen Z, we're really more like not like money concerned, but also like we want to spend that money on like experiences or like on doing something that could be just shopping, but also like especially like I don't know, traveling or just going around. Because I think we're also like I don't know, we have this mentality of like we live day by day and we're gonna like die anyway. So why don't we just live like each day like fullest? But I feel like the financial stress is always there.
I like to think I would save and I would repay all my debts and so on and so forth. But I think I get definitely worked really hard for the first few years to repay debt if I had any. But after that, like saving, I don't think most of my friends would do that until they're a bit older, maybe like 25 or 30. And because you're only in your 20s once in your life. And I think Gen Z or me personally would really like to take advantage of that. But I'd like to think I would save, but
Yeah,
who knows?
and I feel that's also like generation kind of thing because my
Yeah.
parents are really like we want to save. Like they like I grew up with them like saving money. That's also why like I'm here kind of. But I feel we're more like maybe less saving and more like experiencing.
When you said like older, 25, 30, it hurt me a little bit. But just
my
kidding,
God.
just
Very
kidding.
old.
Oh my gosh.
Wait 5 years.
So, too far.
And guys, what do you think that so we get most wrong about you? So with all these memes and things that we, like that we see, and that we were talking about this before, I think you were not so lucky as my generation because you guys have the internet. What do you think we are getting wrong?
Number one, like, okay, we do want to work. We don't not want to work. I think it's stupid. We just don't want to be like a statistic. We don't want to be a number in a dead end, soulless corporate company, chugging away every single day for the rest of our life. And that's just the only thing we don't want. We want to be like, we crave authenticity, we crave connection. So we want a company that gives us that, whether it be through benefits or so on or whatever, or just through human interaction and us genuinely doing something that adds value to the world or adds meaning to the world. And I think that's the number one thing. Like we do want to work, but just for the right things.
Yeah, kind of related to what Rachi said. I feel number one is like we are trying, like we make an effort. Like we always like now we make an effort, but like sometimes like since we're like in this technology era or like internet, AI, like people think that everything we do is like we're being helped by AI, by technology, so we don't really do a lot. Like kind of like we're lazy. We're not. Like there's so much like competitiveness. So many people are like trying hard. They're working, they're studying. I feel there's so much like behind everything. Like even like using AI or like technology, like we're learning how to use it too. Like as like Gen Z, we're still like figuring this out and trying. Like, we're making an effort to do that. We're like trying hard too.
Okay. Victoria, is it me? Is like I think like low-key we are kind of lazy
Really?
to a degree. I feel like okay, you're not gonna be spending if it's like what is the average screen time? 4.5 hours. I mean, plenty of people I know, even in USC, who is supposed to be like a driven school, is somewhat like
Yeah, but still at the
doom
same
scrolling.
time, that's what I was surprised by. Like USC, yeah, there's a lot of like social life, or there's a lot of like I don't know. We're all students, right? So we're young. We want to do like experience and doing other things, like lazy. Like at the same time, there's so many people who are like locked in, like who are really like trying hard.
Yeah.
But it depends on the person.
What I can say, and having the opportunity to have you guys kind of working, let's say like this with us for a while, is that you guys did a very good work. And I took a little bit to understand that in the end, the differences build and balance, so I could, in some because when we are young, and I remember guys, I were crazy and crazy when I see from now, and it's just like, oh my gosh, because you want to go, you want to build, you want to make things happen, and sometimes you don't have all the experience and knowledge to make everything you want. And then it's quite good to have someone to give this perspective. And of course, we have to also, because this is how the world like
The world progresses.
there is the balance, right? Because if I just listen to the last generation, I'm gonna be stuck. So there's to have like something in the between that we put together and do a good work. So because I believe in this mainly, I'm very happy to have you here. And a last word for our employers.
I would say there's no wrong or right like generation, not generation, but like no generation thinks like perfectly, and we all have like to learn from each other. And if we all learn from each other, I feel like we can make like a way better world. So yeah, that's
Wow, world peace. Crazy. Final words, I would say is that's like a harder question to ask, but final word to employers is that every generation thinks the one below them is worse. I think the same with Generation Alpha. I think they're like destroyed as society. But it's that exactly.
Poor
because-
Victor. Let's.
Poor
But
Victor.
I get you. Okay.
It's because I don't understand Generation Alpha enough, because I haven't interacted with them enough, which is probably why I think that way. They have different incentives and they've grown up in entirely different circumstances. They've grown up in all this environment of having devices so easily accessible, and
Everywhere.
therefore they're shaped by that environment, right? And understanding that environment because at the core we're the same human, but we're shaped by different environments. And if you understand the core human needs of, okay, we want appreciation, we want our work to have meaning, and if you understand all that and really try understanding Generation Z and me, then we would never be happier to work for you.
Thank you so much for
Thank
being
you.
here. And I'm gonna wait for the next phase, because guys, they're gonna do the same to me. So let's do
Looking
it.
forward to that.
Okay, thank you so much, guys, and see you soon.
yeah.
Thank you.
This episode is brought to you by SideUp, the employee benefit and payment platform that's on a mission to build better relationship between employers and employees. From attracting top talent to supporting their real needs throughout the entire journey with your company, student loans, childcare, wellness, and everyday essentials, SideUp handles all the payments, the compliance, and the admin, so you can focus on being the great employer your team deserves. Because when your people feel truly supported, your business grows, driving up to 23% more profit. Book your free 15-minute demo at sideup.com.